I am not originally from the South, but I have lived in Asheville long enough to develop an allergy to gluten. Like other men in Asheville, I'm a single dad. This is my single dad bod. I got my father's Buddha belly and my mother's childbearing hips. And I've got his receding hairline and her bad taste in men. So just to be clear, I like women, almost exclusively. So I just hired a personal trainer. She's beautiful. She asked me what my goals were. I said I want to be good looking enough that you'd fuck me. She said I'm not that good a trainer. Hey. Just got out of a 6-year relationship with the mother of my 11-year-old daughter. Now, if you're wondering about the math, so is my daughter. I explained it to her using new math, because that's what they're teaching her in school. I was like, if mommy and I were together for 6 years, and you're 11, how long has daddy been happy? Now, our mom's happier too, because she gets to pick all the same fights and have none of the make-up sex. Our daughter's in the 6th grade. We're already arguing over which high school we think she should drop out of. Her mom wants her to go to public school because it's free and she can ride the bus. But we live in the mountains. I don't want our daughter getting knocked up by some coal-rolling redneck with a meth habit. I want our daughter to go to private school, where she can develop an unjustifiable sense of entitlement and do cocaine. I think kids have it too easy these days, so I'm raising our daughter Jewish. Well, it's not a big Jewish crowd. You don't feel how hard it is. I understand. Her mom's Catholic, so our daughter's only half Jewish. The other half is anti-Semitic. The other day I was taking her to school. We found ourselves at an actual spiritual crossroads. We got to a light, and when the light turned green, the car in front of us refused to go. Now, normally, I would just tap on my horn, but this guy had a bumper sticker that said, "Honk if you love Jesus." As much as I wanted to get my daughter to school on time, I wasn't abandoning 5,000 years of cultural and spiritual heritage just to avoid some tardy shaming. So I start yelling at the guy in the mirror. My daughter's got secondhand road rage. He waits for the light to turn yellow, flips me off, and then takes off through the intersection so he gets through and I do not. So we get to school, and we're late, and they send us to the principal's office. And the principal said, "Would you mind explaining to me why you're late, Mr. Scholder?" And I said, "Well, I would have been on time, but I didn't want to honk, and then you flipped me off." Hey, now you know what it feels like being Jewish in the South. We're on the same page. Last year, I got to perform comedy at a same-sex wedding. And it was really great. These guys met me at a show where I was the only straight comedian on stage. So I was surprised they hired me. My first thought was like, how bad is their gaydar? But my second thought was, how good is their gaydar? Now my gaydar's terrible, although I think my college roommate might have been gay. He used to wake me up in the middle of the night, ask me if I wanted a blowjob. I didn't want to be like, sucking one dick makes you gay, bro. But it was the way he did it. I hope that joke doesn't make me sound homophobic. I'm just really afraid of finding out that I'm gay. That's for the stupidest reason, too. It's because I'm terrible at manscaping. And all the gay men I've ever met are really gifted gardeners. So I went online and I bought this book called Hip Snips, Your Complete Guide to Dazzling Pubic Hair. That's when I found out I was expected to dazzle. So it's a good thing I bought this book, because manscaping your body is not like landscaping your house. You can't cruise the neighborhood checking out how other guys trim their lawn. But once this part of your body starts looking like and a river runs through it, you don't want this area here to become a road less traveled. Now, you gotta start manscaping if you want to try sexting, because you're gonna send dick pics if you want to be an asshole. Now, I would never send a dick pic. Wouldn't want to ruin the surprise. Plus, the camera adds 10 pounds and subtracts 2 inches. I was like, there was too much sympathy in that one. Like, I feel like that's the first time you believed me all night. I did try sexting once. I was in a long-distance relationship with I'm just gonna call her a much younger woman. She wasn't reprehensibly young, but she was midlife crisis young. Here's what I learned. If you've been having sex longer than the person you're dating has been alive, somewhere in there is the line. Okay, this section of the room right here feels that is reprehensibly young. It was a long-distance relationship, so we spent all our time on the phone talking about all the sex that we were not having. One night, she said, hang up, I will send you a picture of something hot. And I wish I was making this up, but she sent me a picture of her dinner. I was like, why? Why would you send me a picture of food? And she said, my mother told me the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. And I was like, well, you should have asked your dad. I don't know how many of you ever dated somebody who's way out of your league, but I haven't. I did just get out of a relationship with a pretty hot yoga teacher, and that's not the best way to say that. My ex-girlfriend taught hot yoga. She said it helped her sweat out the crazy, and I said the room wasn't hot enough. One day she asked me to rate her on a scale of 1 to 10. I said, well, to me you're an 11, but nobody over a 7 would ever ask that question. You guys are taking her side? It's exactly what I would expect from a room full of 6s. Okay, some of you are 9s, but a couple of you just got bumped up from a 4. I was on her side too until she cheated on me. All right, usually that brings people back on my side, but not you people. I say she cheated, she says she's polyamorous. Polyamory is not like cheating, except when you cheat, you try to keep it a secret. When you're polyamorous, you tell everybody. It's like having a gluten sensitivity. The polyamorous comes from the Greek word poly, which means many, and amor, which means love. But I did some further research and found out that polyamorous is actually Latin for hoe. And all polyamorous relationships have their own set of agreements. So we agreed that if she was going to fuck other guys, I would come up here and talk about it. The one time I tried polyamory, I was fucking amazing at it. I went online, had my first and only successful Tinder date, and found out that within that same week, this woman had slept with me, the only other Tinder guy my girlfriend was interested in, and my girlfriend's other boyfriend, also on Tinder. I was like, Tinder must be using the same algorithms as Amazon. Tinder's like, if you fuck this guy, you will probably fuck this guy. I'm also a yoga teacher. I don't expect you to believe that. It's because this is not the kind of body that you see on the cover of Yoga Journal. This is the kind of body that eats meat and emotions. And emotions are okay, but yogis aren't supposed to eat meat, so I've been telling people I'm a vegetarian for years. But the truth is, I lost my vegetarianity to 5 guys. Don't worry, we're closing in on it. I beg your pardon? Go ahead. What was it? If you're gonna heckle me, I wanna fucking hear it. Pussy. I just turned 50, and 50-year-old men are like an iPhone 6. At first glance, we look like a 10. But as soon as you pick one up, you realize you've wrapped your hands around a piece of antiquated technology. Like, touching us still turns us on, but we lack certain critical features, like extended battery life and a fully functioning operating system. My girlfriend was a 39-year-old mother of 2 with baby fever. And I came home one night, I found her sobbing on the couch. She's like, I can't help it, it's like my ovaries are screaming last call. And I just held her, I was like, I love you so much. And nobody ever made a good decision at last call.